All right, this is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. Today I'm traveling actually, and I want to share with you guys how I travel and juice at the same time. You know, a lot of you guys may travel and then you get off track and you stop juicing because you have your whole juicer set up at home. And I want to let you guys know that you could have a travel juicer set up like I do that you could easily travel with and juice when you travel, so yet your diet does not have to suffer. Most people, when they travel, they go out to restaurants and get grab and go things and things in cans, bottles, and jars, right? That does not need to happen. You can process your fruits and vegetables fresh and juice when you travel like I am today. Today I'm currently in Florida, sunny Florida, Sunshine State, having a great time here. And we're gonna head up to the hotel and show you guys how I juice when I travel. And check it out, guys. My juicer is literally in my luggage. Actually, I carried it on the plane, which we'll talk more about. And of course, I made a stop at the store to get some produce to juice. All right, guys, let's head into the hotel. All right, guys, so we're here in the hotel, and the first step is the lobby. Very important, right? I want you guys to check out the lobby. Most hotels have maybe like free water or juice. So we're gonna spin around here. And this is your first stop, because I try to pack as light as possible with carry-on only whenever possible. And so I don't want to bring extra catch cups or anything like that. So I'll stop at the hotel lobby. They often do free coffee and tea, which I don't drink, but they'll have like, you know, reusable cups that you can grab and take to the room. Or in this case, I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of the paper cups, or sometimes they may have plastic cups. This will save you a lot of dishes. And actually, even you could take some lids so that when you're done, you could actually take your juice to go with you. Let's head up to the room. All right, guys, let's head in the room to see what we got. It's beautiful. All right, guys, so let me show you guys how I travel here. So we got basically my produce, we got the cups, and then we got my backpack with my laptop and other things we don't need. And then basically in my carry-on bag, this is where I put the juicer. Right? And I got a lot of things in my carry-on bag, including basically all my clothes for the trip, as well as a juicer tucked in here. So you can see I got my clothes here, and I literally wrap my clothes around the motor base of the juicer. The juicer that you select to travel with is very important. It can make you or break you. It can make you more compliant or less compliant. The juicer I bring with me to travel is this small, compact version that takes up very little room in my luggage. I actually took this juicer through the TSA checkpoint as a carry-on. Although after the fact, I was a little bit concerned. They didn't open up the juicer to see the processing blade that is a little bit sharp. However, it is plastic. I looked on the x-ray and I didn't see the processing blade. They didn't say anything. But I don't know if I'd recommend that to you. Formerly, I've taken on juicers that have just a standard auger, but not a processing blade, especially one that's a little bit sharp. So I would encourage you guys to check it. I would probably have the motor on the carry-on and check in the juicer parts. But as you guys can see, this is a nice, small, and compact juicer. Just travel with a power cord, don't forget it. And it lets you juice easily while you travel. The main differentiator about the Hurom H310 is that you don't need to sit there and scrub the screen clean. You don't even need to bring a cleaning brush, because as you guys will see in a minute, I'm just going to literally wash it off in the kitchen sink, because most hotels you guys are going to stay at doesn't have a full kitchen. And the only part you'll need to clean is the main juicing bowl, the auger. That's actually a 2-piece auger, simple and easy to rinse off. And then you just have the little small hopper to clean. That's why this is my favorite Hurom travel juicer. Small, compact, easy to rinse off. So now let's get juicing and share some of my more juicing tips with you today. All right, guys, so now we're set up in the room, ready to get juicing. So now we're gonna give you guys my tips for juicing in the hotel room. Number one, the best place I found to juice in the hotel room is the desk. Most hotels have a desk that you can set up your laptop on. This is where I juice. While you could juice in the bathroom, I don't like to juice in the bathroom just because that's where people do their business. So, you know, I would prefer not to juice in the bathroom. So I come out to the desk, and usually at the desk, there are some outlets that you could plug in the juicer. Also, the desk gives you a nice work surface. Now, I just don't use the desk alone. What I like to do is get one of the clean towels, one of the clean bath towels out of the bathroom. And then I'll spread that over the whole desk and even put my juicer underneath it. This way, I don't make a mess for the housekeeping staff. I mean, in addition, besides not making a mess for the housekeeping staff, I'm keeping my juice, my produce clean, because literally I don't usually travel with a cutting board. And then I'll basically use the towel as kind of like my surface to do work on. I mean, it's gone through a whole bleaching process to be bright white and clean. So I figure it's probably the cleanest thing in the entire room. All right, so then we'll basically take our cups, and then you can set up 1 cup perfectly to catch your juice, 1 cup over here to catch your pulp coming out. You have a couple extra cups. Then we got the produce. So let's see, today what we're gonna be juicing we got oranges to juice. I'll show you guys the best way to juice oranges. I mean, orange juice at hotels is usually reconstituted from concentrates, and I prefer the taste of fresh orange juice. We also have some organic celery here to juice as well in the Hurom H310 juicer. All right, so the next thing that you can bring when you travel, only if you check bags, is a knife. I always like to travel with a knife whenever possible. Whenever I'm checking bags, knives cannot be taken on your carry-on bags through the TSA checkpoint unless they're plastic knives. Sometimes I'll pick up disposable plastic knives actually at the airport inside this TSA secure area, and just put a few extra ones in my bag. And you would be amazed on how well some of those plastic knives actually can even cut things like fruits and vegetables. They usually do a pretty good job, but you just need to have patience and get a few extra, because you'll probably wear out the plastic, serrades on the knives. So yeah, this is a knife I checked in this trip, and we're just gonna go ahead and cut up the celery. So on the celery, just basically I like to chop off the bottom, and we'll discard this part, and then I'll spin it around and chop off the top. And now to juice in the Hurom H70, all we need to do is chop this into smaller pieces. Some people just chop it in small, big pieces. I would tell you guys to chop it in smaller pieces. The smaller you cut the pieces, the more you can fill up the hopper, and the less likelihood you will have with clogging or jamming the machine. So I personally like to cut it into literally 1-inch pieces or smaller. I mean, 1/2-inch pieces would be good. Today we're doing about 1-inch pieces. This way we can basically load the hopper and then do something else. You know, I'm probably gonna be prepping all the oranges as all the celery is getting juiced up in the Hurom H310 vertical slow hopper travel sized juicer. All right guys, so we got our celery all chopped up. Next step is just open the hopper. We're gonna go ahead and load up our celery. Let's see how much celery we can load up in this mini size, travel size juicer hopper. And basically it looks like we fit half of the celery head into the juicer. We only have this much celery left. So then we're just gonna go ahead, shut the lid, turn this in the on position. The machine comes on, and now it juices at a slow RPM. So this is a slow cold press juice, one of the highest quality juices you can get out of modern juices these days. And the juice should start flowing out of the machine as the pulp start flowing out of the machine. All right, there is my liquid gold, my straight celery juice, easily made when I'm traveling. The amazing thing about the Hurom H310 is that it will work without you. So now you could go ahead and put your makeup on if you're running late. You can do whatever you have to do to get out that door because you're on vacation or maybe on your work trip, right? This will work without you. Just have the cup underneath there and it's going. So while it's going, actually, I'm gonna prep my oranges to juice. A lot of people just basically cut the orange in half and put it on the citrus reamer and they get what's called the orange water. I wanna encourage you guys to make true orange juice where you're actually juicing the white pith of the orange. This gives you a lot more bioflavonoids, hesperidin and rutin, like at least 10 times more nutrition. Link down below to my video where I made juice out of citrus with the peel and go over the science with the big brother which is my favorite home juicer, the Hurom H70 at home. This is the easy, clean design, but a smaller, compact version that is perfect for travel, and that's when I use it. So we're gonna go ahead and just basically cut off the orange coloring of these oranges, and we're gonna juice all the amazing, delicious white pith while this machine is going. All right, so before I even knew it, the H310 travel size juicer juiced all the celery that was in the hopper, and check it out, guys. It basically made 1 full cup of juice, so that's amazing. Next up, oh, and then this is the pulp it made. It filled it up like basically halfway. So we're gonna just basically tap this down, compress it down. We're gonna go ahead and lift up the top. We're gonna go ahead and put another cup underneath the spout to catch the rest of the juice. And now we're just gonna go ahead and load up the rest of the celery into the hopper. All right, guys, so the other half of the celery fit in, and I really love how this hopper basically fit a half of head of celery each time. So you just gotta do 2 batches to do 1 whole head of celery, and we already got 1 cup of juice. We're gonna let it continue to make my 2nd cup of juice while I continue to cut off the skin of the oranges. All right, guys, so the Hurom H310 finished up that 2nd batch of celery without an issue, and as you guys can see, basically, if you turn the machine off now, all the pulp is now in the cup here, the collection pulp cup. And now we have basically a 2nd glass of juice. We made 2 little glasses of juice, thanks to the hotel. You can go ahead and take that lid, put it on, and then now look like everybody else with their sippy cup coffee, but actually you have something way healthier. Sippy cup celery juice that won't spill in your car when you're on your way to the beach. So yeah, the Hurom H310 is amazing. Not only can it juice the celery, but next up, I want to juice something that's even more consumed than celery. I think more people should drink celery juice instead of the orange juice. But up next, now we are going to juice the oranges in the Hurom H310. All right, guys, so to juice the oranges, basically you probably could put them in whole, but once again, the more you cut up the oranges, the more effectively and Tetris-like you can fill that little hopper. So basically, to make it easier on the machine, we're just gonna go ahead and cut the oranges into 4 pieces. And we're just gonna go ahead and once again, drop them in there, and let's see how many oranges we could actually fit into the Hurom H310. So far, this is 2 oranges. I think we could probably fit about 3, and then we're likely gonna be maxed out. So let's see, 3rd orange is going in, fit it without an issue. Let's see if we could actually cram 4 in there. This will be fun. All right, 4 oranges going right in. They're definitely smashed in there, and we are filling the machine above the max fill line, but I don't care. I'll show you guys what really happens. Turn on the machine. It starts up without an issue, and within no time at all, you guys can see it's pulling the oranges into the machine through the automatic hopper processing blade, and we got the freshest orange juice ever to be consumed in a hotel room, made with a slow juicer with all that white pith that's super delicious and nutritious. I think I got 1 more to peel while this one is making the juice. All right, guys, so it looks like the Hurom H310, the perfect travel juicer, has basically gone through all 4 of those oranges and literally we made, once again, a whole cup of juice. You know, this is something I really love about the Hurom H310. If you bring a travel juicer with a large hopper and then you fill it up, right, you better bring your own collection cups because you're gonna overflow the collection cup because you're gonna likely leave as machine's running so you could pack your bag, get out the door, do whatever you have to do, right? I really love that if you fill this up, it basically just fills up these perfect size cups that basically come at every hotel. So you can fill it up to the perfect size without overflowing it. That's very important. Fill up the hopper, shut the lid, turn it on, you come back, it's done. Now you could actually load up more oranges. So once again, we're gonna load up 4 more oranges in here to make more juice. Now after this time, we do, however, have to empty the pulp catch cup because this is basically full of the pulp. And I want to show you guys how dry this pulp is when we drop it out. Look at that, that's orange pulp. There's no orange juice in this. And if I squeeze it, I'm basically just squeezing out pulp in my hands. There's no juice coming out. That's how efficient the Hurom H310 is when juicing the oranges, right? And once again, I'm juicing it with all that delicious, nutritious white pith that'll actually help the machine get that pulp even a little bit drier. So I have one last cup, so let's fill it up with my last 4 oranges. All right, 4 more oranges going right into the Hurom H310 without an issue. Shut the lid, turns on automatically, and we're gonna let the juice flow. Now, actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup while the juicer's running without me. This is the amazing feature of the Hurom H310, is that you don't need to sit there and babysit it. Like the old school juicers of yesterday, you gotta sit there and push each item into the juicer. Not anymore with the Hurom H310. It basically will work without you so that you don't have to do any work. You literally just need to load it up, turn it on, walk away. And as you'll see in a minute, the cleaning is gonna be a cinch. So why do I really love the Hurom H310 as my primary travel juicer when I take a compact unit? Number one, it's small and compact. It fits in your bag. It takes minimal amount of space. Number two, it is made in South Korea, right? There is Hurom dependability when you buy this machine. Hurom has been making and literally invented the vertical slow juicer 21 years ago now, right? They've been in business for 50 years. They've been making small kitchen appliances all these years, and they've gotten better and better at it. And because of that, when you pop out your Hurom H310 on your trip that you take once, twice, maybe even you travel weekly, right? This machine is gonna be dependable. Most small compact machines like this are made in China, and they'll make grinding noises, and they'll probably use plastic that is actually not safe plastic to come in contact with food, in my personal opinion. Link down below to my video where I compare a cheap Chinese plastic juicer using plastics that I would not want in my kitchen, right, to the Hurom H70, which is basically they use the same exact materials to make the H310. So because it is so small, compact, takes very little space, but it juices just like your home juicer. So far, we made basically 2 cups of the celery, and now we're basically almost finished making the 2nd cup of orange juice this morning. All right, guys, so there you have it. It juiced another 4 oranges, and we made yet another cup of juice. So now I've basically made 4 cups of juice this morning, easily in the Hurom H310. And the most exciting part about this to me that I look forward to every time when I'm cleaning the big brother, the Hurom H70, which I use at home, and it is my favorite juicer. Link down below if you're looking for a home juicer. The H70 is it. For home use, I would definitely get the H70 over the H310 due to the larger size and just more robust and works a lot better. That being said, for travel, the H310 is perfect because once again, it's small, compact size. You fill this up, it fills up these little free cups that you're gonna get at most hotels simply and easily without an issue. But my most favorite part is cleaning. So let me show you guys taking this in literally into the bathroom sink to clean this simply and easy without any scrubbing that I know you've had to do of juicers in the past. All right, guys, so now we're heading into the bathroom to clean the juicer parts, and this is like basically the small juicer parts you'll need to clean. This is why I love this machine for travel. Super simple, super easy. You could even clean it in the bathroom like I am today. So the first step is once you get into the bathroom, you're gonna grab, once again, one of those extra towels. This just happens to be a hand towel, and I always like to lay this out on the countertop, basically to use as my dry rack. So I'm not setting my clean juicer parts on just whatever the bathroom thing is. So basically I just take this apart, and once again, we have the hopper piece. Then we'll just turn on the sink, and this actually sink has low water pressure, and we'll just simply rinse this out, right? No brushing is required. Even with the low water pressure, right? You may need to run a little bit more water over it, but it's just cleaning everything right off. All the pulp is easily just melting off the plastic. All right, guys, so as simple as that, no scrubbing, just rinsing, and this part is clean. I'll set it basically upside down to dry off. The next part that's amazing about this machine is that there's no juicing screen with the little holes you need to clean. We have the top piece of the auger, and look at how clean this part already is. And then once again, we're just gonna simply rinse it off. Now, my tip to you guys is put the water on as hot as possible. Hot water will dislodge more of the pulp and more things than the cold water would. So you can easily see we're just rinsing this out underneath the faucet. And before we knew it, this part is clean. Next part, you have the bottom piece of the auger. Once again, it's already pretty clean anyways. So once again, we're just gonna rinse this off. And if the water pressure is low especially, I run it right next to the top where it's coming out further. Or if you wanna be even crazy, you could be like me, put this and then make a hard stream out of it. This will save you guys some time. So now you're basically forcing more water pressure out by making the stream smaller. This will help you clean your juicer parts even more effectively. I don't know anybody else that's even gonna show you some of the tips and techniques that I with because this is what I do when I travel, because I travel and I've been juicing now for the last 30 years, traveling with many juicers over the years. And of course, once again, cleaning, simple and easy, this one is it. Now, the trick on the juicing bowl, this is where it has the most pulp, is once again, you're gonna open this little flap here and then you're gonna remove this pulp before washing it out and then just throw this in the garbage can and don't let it go down the sink because that's gonna probably clog your bathroom sink here at the hotel and they're definitely not gonna like that. So I try to get as much of this pulp out as possible before washing. And then once again, this just goes underneath the faucet, and this is definitely better if you use a little sprayer to spray this off. And as you guys can see, we're basically literally spraying this clean, right? Even if you don't use my sprayer technique, to get a nice stream on there, right? Even just the water dribbling out at its slow rate is basically getting all the juicer parts clean, simple and easy, no scrubbing whatsoever. And once again, just rotate this around. And then no time at all, this part too is clean. Set it down, upside down, and let all the juicers parts drip dry. All right, so you guys saw the whole process of how I juice when I travel, including bringing the juicer up into the room, getting the free cups so I don't have to bring any couch cups and more things with me when I travel. Made literally 4 cups of juice. And I want to try that orange juice for you guys on the camera. Delicious. It's nice and frothy, thick and creamy, and actually a bit less sweet than typical orange juice where they're just extracting orange water, which is what I learned from Jay Cordage, formerly known as the Juice Man. This is a much more nutritious way to make the orange juice that is not just squeezed out like most orange juice. They basically just squeeze out the orange water. This is literally ground up and pressed out in the slow cold press juicer, the Hurom H310, perfect for travel. And of course, I made my amazing celery juice so you can stick with your medical medium program if you're on that. But celery juice also is just an amazing juice because it's full of electrolytes and delicious as well. And the most amazing thing about the Hurom H310 is that there's no juicing screen that you need to sit there and scrub in the bathroom of your hotel. I love that I could just rinse it off and now we're all ready to pack up and go and have fun during the day on vacation. So if you guys are wanting to buy the best travel juicer that's small, compact, and easy to clean, the Hurom H310 is it. If you guys want to save $100 off right now for a limited time only, you can use that coupon code TRAVEL at hurom.com. That will expire very soon, and after it expires, that coupon code TRAVEL will be good for 10% off at hurom.com. Now, when you guys use that coupon code, not only will you save the most money on the Hurom H310, because I've negotiated with Hurom always to give my customers the best prices with my coupon codes, but also Hurom will share me a small commission so I can continue to create this kind of content where I share how I juice, my personal tips and techniques that I've learned over the last 31 years of juicing myself and over 25 years of selling juicers and educating people about the power of juicing online. So it is much appreciated for those of you guys that do use my coupon code so I can continue my mission and work to educate people about the power of fruits and vegetables and the best equipment to process them. So thank you. So if you guys enjoyed this episode on location here while I'm traveling, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. That'll encourage me to make more episodes, when I'm traveling and doing things other than just testing juicers at home. Also be sure to share this with other people that travel when they juice so that they can see how easy the Hurom H310 is to use when you travel. And it's why the juicer that I take when I want to take a small, compact, easy to use machine that's just amazingly so easy to clean. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you can miss my new upcoming episodes I've come out in 5 to 7 days. You never know what new juicers I'll be unboxing, what new juicers I'll be comparing, what juicing knowledge bombs or other equipment that can allow you to process your fruits and vegetables and maintain the highest level of phytonutrients to get the most health benefits. And make sure you click the little bell to get notified as my new videos come out. And also be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge, over 900 episodes reviewing, comparing, and contrasting, and dropping my juicing knowledge bombs with you. Links down below some of my favorite videos I made in the past with the Hurom H310 so you guys can see how it compares to other, normal size juicers, and also my favorite juicer, the Hurom H70, if you guys are looking for the home version of this small, compact model. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.